back to TGIF Docs, episode 156. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep Joe, my co-host, anonymous Phil.
Yes.
Let's roll the intro. These podcasts exist. They are a thing that exists on the internet.
Broken up into one part.
Sometimes. Man, I had them. As you can see, I didn't get very far organizing from last weekend. I put some of the bolts and stuff into the thing.
Organized.
And then we're finished. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed. Probably didn't notice. All my receipts, because I need the pot to make the mashed potatoes today.
Oh, yeah.
I put them in a big box. I went and bought a container for them.
What are all those receipts from?
Everything I've bought over the past God knows how long.
Why don't you just put them in a trash like a normal person?
Because they've come in handy.
For what?
When I needed a receipt for a product I bought like months ago.
Oh, then save... I saved my receipts for, tools. And then, if I know I'm going to keep it, then I trash it. But,
I don't know.
Food receipts? Yeah. Let me keep my Super Saver receipt in case I don't like the milk. I might want to return it.
I finished this gallon, but I didn't like it.
yeah. Can I have my money back? I brought the milk back.
Here, it made me vomit. Here's the vomit and the rest of the milk.
Yeah, I bought some ground beef from you guys to make some tacos. I don't know, it didn't really come out very good. Here's the wrapper. Can I have my money back? Yeah, good idea. Save all the food receipts. You might need them.
Exactly. You never know. Maybe I'll get some sort of intestinal problems and they'll discover, it was from this.
I finished this box of cereal. It wasn't very good. Can I have my money back?
But maybe they'll discover, maybe I'll have some sort of intestinal issue. I'll go to the doctors and they'll have a house moment. They'll be like, look at the receipts, he bought this chicken.
This guy's clinically insane.
No, he bought this chicken 8 months ago. This was on a recall. And, to cause these intestinal issues.
Maybe.
It could save my life.
Would you want it saved?
I would. Yes. Yes, I would. You are insufferable.
Thank you?
Thank you? Is that...
Is that what someone would say in that instance? Thank you.
You are insufferable. Thanks.
You too.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Anyways, we should probably find a topic to discuss. Last night at the observatory, somebody asked me, they were like, I was talking about, oh my God, this kid comes up to me. There were multiple things I got to talk about. This kid comes up to me, and I couldn't get rid of him. He was just...
You're trying to get rid of him?
He was just annoying. Just irritating me. So, you think they're aliens? And I'm like, oh, good God, please go away. He's like, I think they're aliens. The universe is this big. I'm like, please go away.
Did you say that?
No!
Yes. No, you needed to say that. Please go away.
I wanted to. I almost did. I was so close to just being like, please go bother someone else. And he did. He didn't bother me. But I was so close to just drop kicking this kid. Go away.
Yes.
You are insufferable.
Thanks.
No, you just kept asking me things
do you
bro,
think they're aliens?
And he would just the kid, it was almost I almost see a younger version of me, but at the same time, I don't think younger version of me would have asked about aliens.
I do want to know what is your hot take on aliens?
Oh, they're hot.
So you've seen one.
Podcast 29.
So you believe in hot aliens?
Oh yeah, you can put them on an index.
Wait, but I want an honest answer.
I mean, there's definitely microbial life, but as for intelligent life, that's hard to say.
1% more intelligent. You know, compare us to a baboon. And then, now imagine, you know, Hyper Einstein's walking around.
Hyper Einstein.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they definitely, microbial life definitely exists, but as, you know...
Being a carrot is considered having an IQ under 250.
I don't have it up there. Well, I do have this.
They are hyper intelligent. If your IQ is under 250, you are a carrot to them.
Oh boy. Well, you know, a carrot.
Yeah, a carrot. You know, carrots. The carrot people.
Oh, carrot. Hold on. Are we talking carrots or carrot people? They're two very different things. The one is surprisingly vastly more intelligent.
Yeah, right. Fine. The carrot person is below 800.
What? Excuse me?
Yes. You are a carrot person with an IQ below 800.
So they're God.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm pretty
They're
sure.
Hyper Einsteins.
I mean, for all we...
No, I'm sorry. No, Einstein wasn't even that high. He was only like 160.
Yeah,
no,
he was
they're Hyper William Sids.
William Sids.
He is the man with the high... Well, technically, Marilyn von Savant is the woman... She is a woman, but it's a person with the highest IQ.
She is a woman. That can be contested these
226. Marilyn von Savant. And then William Sids has like his IQ is technically higher, however it's not confirmed. They estimate it between 250 and 300. But Marilyn von Savant had an official IQ test done of 226.
I see.
Einstein they predict to be about 160.
Interessante. Es muy interesante.
And then you have Sheldon. Yeah, he's cooking around 183.
That's what he said. If he's really on 183...
Penny, I have an IQ of 183. Don't you think that if I had soup, I would have looked to see if I had soup?
Oh, you said 183.
You could have just bought some.
Don't you think if I wanted soup, I could get soup?
But then I guess Smart must be like 120. Because in another episode, because he's made 2 episodes that I've seen where he referenced his IQ. One, he blatantly says 183. Another one, he says, Penny, I'd have to lose 60 IQ points to be considered smart. And so I'm guessing Smart is 120.
To him, anyways.
Because I'm thinking 120 is like the first standard deviation above the norm.
Yeah, I would assume so.
And so I'm guessing that's what they call smart.
Because the curve, it happens right
Yeah, you have the, within the bell curve, you have 68%.
The curve peaks at 110, right?
See, I don't know in the first standard deviation. Is that 110 or 120?
I mean, the peak of the curve is at 110.
No, it's at 100. 100 is supposed to be normal.
Oh, I thought we looked at it and it was 110 was the peak.
No, it's supposed to be 100.
Oh, okay. Well, if 100's the peak, then 120 is the second standard deviation.
How do you know it's 10?
Because they always break it down in tens.
Well, I thought it depended on your size.
Oh, I suppose it... Well, then it's null and void. Oh, is 120 the first standard deviation? Well, it depends on the size.
Oh, no.
Depends on the size.
No, we have a fixed population size. So what I'm saying is that how much is standard deviation, it depends on how much your population size is.
I suppose.
For example, if I have, let's say, 10 friends and 10 apples, I gave all 10 apples to one friend. Average, I gave an apple to each person. But in reality, I have 9 pissed off friends. Okay?
Who the fuck wants an apple? And what? No, you have 10 pissed off friends. You just gave 10 fucking apples to a guy. Who the hell wants 10 apples? No, he's having a great day. No, who wants 10 apples, though?
There's 10 free apples. I don't know. But anyways, that's it's an example to show you the importance of standard deviation, right? Because average, it's 1 apple per person. But That's not exactly how this works.
Right.
Because what a standard deviation does, it says how likely an individual is to deviate from the mean. In this case, the standard deviation is 3.
So we have like 1, 10, and then your friends.
Yes.
What a graph!
One person got 10 apples, and then I have 9 pissed off friends.
What a graph! What a fucking graph! What a fucking graph!
It's a bar graph. Person 1, person 2.
Oh
person
yeah, I suppose
10.
it is. Sorry, let me make this more realistic. There. We'll just assume it's a point. Yeah, it's a point.
But the average should not be interpreted as 1. I think I did the math. It's like a standard deviation of 3. So a person is likely to deviate from the mean by 3.
Okay, well,
so
anyways.
negative apples.
Well, anyways, what I'm assuming is like no eukaryotes. Back to the aliens. This is what we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
No eukaryotes. Probably.
No, we were talking about IQ. Oh, yeah. IQ of aliens. So,
yeah,
800.
800. Is that what you're assuming?
That's a dumb person. That's a dumb alien. That's a stupid-ass alien.
Stupid-ass alien.
Stupid-ass alien.
Knows
IQ
more about anything and everything than all of humanity, and yet is stupid.
The average alien is equivalent to our Yakub.
Yakub?
Do you know who Yakub is?
I want to know what a Yakub is.
Maybe we should look this up.
You've already got it pulled up.
I think Wikipedia can put it into justice.
Give me.
Yakub. He's the smartest man ever. He has... basically, he invented the white race.
What?
He was a black man with a very big head.
Oh, I think I know the.
Yakub.
It's the Nation of Islam.
He was a black scientist from 6,000 years ago and began the creation of the white race. He's said to have done this through a form of selective breeding, referred to as grafting. He was living on this island of Patmos, the Nation of Islam's mythology. But yeah, he was incredibly smart. And
it sounds like he also lived for a long time because you can't just selectively breed humans. He'd only get at least 3, maybe 4 generations max. If he was like 5 years old and was like, you two, you're light skinned, go fuck in a corner. Like, what? You could.
Yeah, but eugenics is a very interesting thing.
No, we're not getting eugenics. That is podcast 29 territory. We're going to skirt away from that and move on. As I was saying, anyway, so the kid was like, aliens, and I'm like, I don't know. He's like, my dad's got a picture of a UFO, and I'm like, great. He's like, well, you want to see it? I'm like, no. He's like, are you sure you don't want to see it? I'm like, I am sure. He's like, I can go get it.
Right here. After 600 years of deliberate eugenics, the white race was created.
Oh, so his infidels carried it on.
He died at the age of 150.
What?
Well, yeah, he didn't. His followers carried on his work.
Interesting. Well, anyways, back to where were we? Right. So, anyways, I told the kid, I'm like, go.
This is the average alien.
I see. Anyways, at some
provided he has IQ over 800.
He does not.
If he does not have IQ above 800, then I'm sorry, you're not quite alien tier yet.
Anyways, so this kid
but you're getting close.
Anyways, he's like, you want to see pictures of UFO? I'm like, no, I'm good. Please leave me alone.
He showed you a picture of a UFO.
No, he wanted to. I told him I don't want to see it. I don't want to see who the hell your dad is. I'd rather not see this poor man who's stuck taking care of your ass. So, but I just think, I'm like, what in the world? This child just...
This is you.
It might have been a past version of me.
This is you 15 years ago.
Oh, I hope not. I really hope not. But, what else did he... Oh, no, there was the whole point I wanted to make about why something else he brought up.
Aliens.
No, it wasn't just. Oh, right. He was just like, I want to see a world without oil, and I'm like, yeah, I mean that'd be nice. I was just like, but like I didn't know what he meant at first. So I was like, I mean, Mars doesn't have oil. I mean, I'm sure they're. I mean,
yeah, the Martians. The Martians used to live there, and then when they came down to Earth, and they bred with the Atlanteans.
Okay, let's stop. Anyways, no, but I was just like, Earth technically didn't have oil for the early part of its history, and he's like, no, like we don't use oil. I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, well, we're gonna run out in like 40 years, and I'm like, no, we won't. He's like, how do you know? Like, what do you mean we won't? I'm like, supply and demand. He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, think about it this way, right? And I've explained this. I actually ended up explaining this to a few people.
Actually, I read a book that it was very interesting. It was set in the future, and it said, in the year 2040, there will be a World War III fighting over the last remaining oil.
No. So humans will adapt and we will move on. When we realize that. Because at some point...
We've already started.
Because at some point, the price of oil is going to get so high that it is just not worth using oil anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to be like, well, we physically will have to do something else. Whether that be turning the CO2 in the atmosphere back into oil.
Or nothing.
Or the world ends.
You can't just sit here and do nothing.
I'd vote for doing nothing.
That's what would happen. It's like, well, there's no oil. There's not enough energy to do other things. I guess we'll just have a day where we just do nothing.
But anyways, I told the kid, I'm like, look, supply and demand says it is impossible for humanity to ever run out of oil.
Well, no, we'll come to a point where there is just not enough to go around.
I mean, when do we get to that point?
What do you mean?
No one. If oil ever hit $150 a barrel, I think countries would be scrambling to get away from it, from using it.
They would, but I don't think that. But they're too stubborn to do it quick enough.
No, they have to.
I think they're gonna wait to the last moment.
The people will revolt. Because they don't want to pay. I mean, the people will stop paying for the oil, and so the countries will just stop importing it. That's what's going to happen.
But someone will pay for it.
Well, yeah, there'll be somebody probably buying
like Apple. Apple knows they can keep jacking their prices because they know somebody out there will buy it. And if they can get enough somebodies to buy it, they can have a market.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the same thing will happen with the oil. There will be some countries that will be like, shit, we'll buy it. $150 a barrel. I'll take all of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. There
will be people that will still buy it.
I mean, that's China.
There always will be.
I mean, that's China for you. Apparently, according to Explosions in the Fire, I was watching a video of his today. He was extracting neodymium from neodymium boron magnets.
Okay.
From hard drives. It was a very weird video. It just ends, and I'm like, what? I wasn't expecting it just to end. But anyways, he was extracting the neodymium, and he was talking about the giant rare earth mine that they have in China.
Okay.
And he says there's really no other place on Earth that you can do this, because in China, in like Australia or the United States, to do this, you need a lot of energy to extract the metals, right? Okay. To separate them. And China, they don't really have to pay for the electricity because, it's the government. So there's no other place on Earth that it's worth to make rare earth metals. Because everywhere else you have to pay for electricity. In China, the government's just like, oh, we need to keep a monopoly on this.
Okay.
Yeah, you need power. We'll build a nuclear reactor for you.
We'll build your own substation.
We'll build you your own nuclear power plant. God forbid. There's a uranium mine not too far away. We'll literally refine it and send it right to you.
Mm-hmm. We'll have your own railroad car too.
Exactly. I mean, they are the world's sole supplier for the time being of like rare earth metals. Very few other countries have it. The U.S., we are developing our own because obviously we want to be independent of China and the needs. Also, we don't need to. I mean, we still do import new metals all the time, but we can recycle it. Somebody was talking about like if China were to go to war or whatever, The problem with China is all their infrastructure is built for making raw, brand new steel from ore. Well, China doesn't have enough ore in the country to feed their war machine. So they have to import it from Australia, which, coincidentally, if they were to go to war with Taiwan, their entire steel industry would come screeching to a halt because they can't get their iron anymore.
Well, then they'll just do what we did in the Vietnam War. Make a bunch of balloons.
Bunch of balloons?
Yeah. Don't you remember that? They made a bunch of balloons to look like we had all these extra tanks and stuff.
That was World War II.
Oh, was it? Yeah, but that's what they'll do.
Well, no.
What? Where are they get all these tanks from?
But no. It's not about. We know they can't build the tanks.
No. They'll find them.
We also have way better spy technology now than we did then. I don't know what the resolution is of spy satellites, but I guarantee you it's great enough they can detect the difference between a fake tank and a real tank. It's like we're talking within a square foot. Actually, I think the resolution's even greater than that. We're talking within inches.
We had this conversation, yeah. The time how we took the drone out.
Yeah.
That's probably what they could do. They probably could. Yeah.
Maybe better.
Better.
Depending on the height of the drone, like I said, they would have greater resolution than we had with the drone.
Yes.
From space.
Yes.
So you can understand. But anyways, I at the observatory, I gave a few lectures on supply and demand. They're like, oh, so did you study this stuff? As I'm like explaining some stuff, and I'm like, oh no, I did econ. And they're like, oh. I can give a lecture on supply and demand. I told people there will be a lecture on supply and demand in the classroom after 10 o'clock tonight. Please stay tuned.
See. Did you give the lecture?
No.
Oh.
That would have been funny.
You should have.
Just all right, folks. We're gonna do.
We're gonna talk about Griffin goods.
No, and this kid walked up to me, and he's like. I had the laser, and he was just like, how's it work? And I'm thinking to myself, like, I am not explaining how a laser works to a child. Like,
why?
A small child. Because I don't even know what the acronym stands for.
Oh. That's step one.
I know! I'm like, I don't even know what this... I can try and...
Did you know that it had an acronym?
Yeah.
Or did I tell you it had an acronym? Oh, no, you didn't know MOSFET had an acronym.
No, yeah, it was MOSFET. No, but I've known lasers.
Do you remember what I told you there is?
MOSFET, so I'm assuming MOSFET, it's a switch.
MOSFET.
MOS? I can't think what the hell the M is. If I could figure out what
metal.
Metal oxide MOSF?
SFEET. EET.
EET.
No, just one E.
Metal oxide surface.
No,
not surface.
Semiconductor.
What? Oh my god. Metal oxide semiconductor. What the hell's F? Field? It's field? It's field? What the hell? Metal oxide semiconductor field FET. ET. Electrical transistor?
Nope.
Effect?
Metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor.
Field effect transistor. Some bullshit.
What
the hell?
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, no kidding. Metal oxide. I guess it could be made with a
semiconductor field effect
metal
transistor.
oxide. It could also be made with a metalloid. But anyways, so there was I tell a lot of things. There's this Girl Scout troop that came in, and they were like, okay, ask him questions. And one of the questions like, okay, they just said space debris. I'm like, you have come to the right person to talk about space debris. I wrote Well, recycled paper. I wrote one. Recycled part of that one to make a second, much better one.
I tried that in a class one time.
It didn't work, did it?
Well, the thing is, I was honest, and I asked if I could just reuse the same paper, and they said no. But I'm pretty sure... Well, see, that's the thing, right? Because when you upload stuff to Canvas, it gets put through that checker, that plagiarism checker. And since I had already previously uploaded an assignment to Canvas, it probably would have found it, but it would have had my same name on it. So I don't know. Are you allowed to plagiarize your own paper?
No. That's what they told us, which I always thought was stupid. I'm like, it's my own work. They told us no, but I think that's just because they didn't want us to be lazy.
No, I think you're supposed to cite it.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. This whole thing.
I'm sorry. I didn't give credit to myself. Please, at least 10% goes to me.
The professor goes to look at your paper. The very first thing is a beginning quotation. He's like, the fuck is this beginning quotation? Reads the entire paper. Where's the end of this quotation? Gets to the very last word. Quote. Cites your own article. It's like, the fuck is this?
I cited my source.
Just like there's sources within sources. Like he circles it as like a grammar issue, and then sees at the very end and goes, "Wait a minute here." Huh? The cat, the stupid fat cat.
Yes.
No, I explained these little... So, no, okay,
Yeah,
laser.
so go way back. Did you explain what laser is?
So, I was just like, what do you mean...
There's light, right?
What? No, so I was like, what do you mean by explain what a...
Do you know what light is?
So, I was like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, how can you see it? I was like, whew, okay, that's way easier to explain.
How can you see a laser?
Yeah, the beam.
Oh, how can you see the beam?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like the dot. I was like, what?
No.
How can the beam. It's light? How?
It was this very small child.
Light.
So I went like way above his head, but I was just like, okay. So basically,
suspension.
The air, so when we shine the laser out, there's stuff between here and where it's going. The atmosphere isn't empty; it's full of air and other
Rayleigh
stuff.
scattering.
So when you...
Is that what you explained? Rayleigh's? Did you use the word Rayleigh scattering?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, it's a child! A small child! Anyways, so I turned the laser on, and I'm like, okay. So when the stuff... So with a powerful enough laser, because you have to pump a lot of energy to it.
It's called a colloid, right?
Colloid?
Yeah, right? Colloid? Am I saying it right? Yeah. Go on.
Oh, right. No, not this again. We're not talking about mixtures again.
Well, it helps.
Fuck the mixtures.
Colloid.
Anyways, so I was just like, so basically, lasers, they have to be powerful enough, and they also have to be the right wavelength. Because like red, you need a very, very powerful laser to be able to see the beam.
Yeah.
But green and blue, they have a shorter wavelength, so they get stopped by the dust and other stuff a lot easier. So you don't need as powerful of a laser, and that's why you're able to see the beam. I'm pretty sure
the kid was like.
The kid was just like, just kind of stood there going in the dark, just like probably completely confused.
Did he ask another question?
Nope.
No. Oh.
No, so it's like this Girl Scouts, they came up to me, they asked me a variety of questions. One of them was like, differences between a planetarium and an observatory. Observatory is you're actually looking at the sky, and a planetarium is you're trying to emulate the sky. I should have used emulate. That was the word I was looking for.
What'd you say?
You're making your own sky inside. I don't know.
You described it without using the word emulate.
Yeah, or simulate, I guess would probably be better.
Is there a difference?
There is a difference, but they're very similar. I'm sure one could probably work in this case.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I mean, we could just Google. But anyways, we have the technology. What in the world was that?
I don't know what I did, but that was cool.
Never again. Remember how I said you're not allowed to touch the keyboard? That's exactly why.
I did, but that was cool.
They don't even know what happened because we were on scene 2, so they didn't even see it.
I don't know what I did.
He somehow everything went and like reopened. Everything closed and then reopened in like a split second, and it's just like,
Oh, my face is red.
Oh yeah, mine is too because it's fucking warm in here too. Anyways, but they eventually asked about space debris. And I was just like, oh, you've come to the right place. I wrote a paper or 2 on space debris. So basically, there's 2 types. You know, you have the stuff up in geosynchronous orbit. Basically, you put those into a graveyard, and theoretically, we never have to worry about them again. I forgot to mention Kessler syndrome, but
What?
Kessler syndrome?
Kessler syndrome? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've heard of that.
That's basically where enough space debris happens to where everything in orbit gets completely destroyed. Oh. And it's a chain reaction, and it goes faster and faster and faster until some point everything's just gone.
Dust.
Yeah.
Kessler syndrome.
Yeah, it happens in gravity.
Well, yeah, I didn't know there was a word for it.
I've done a whole video.
Do I watch YouTube?
This was back when you did.
Oh. Do I watch your channel?
You did.
I did. That is true.
Anyways, so I didn't mention Kessler syndrome, but I just talked about how, it's a big deal because, I talked about in the paper where I compared a 50 caliber bullet, the energy within it, versus the energy of like these orbital pieces of aluminum. And I said if you have a piece of aluminum the same size as a 50 caliber bullet.
Same mass?
No, same size.
Well, it's mass, not volume.
I'm getting to that though. See, the 50 caliber bullet, despite the fact that it's traveling slower, but it has a much larger mass than the aluminum is traveling much faster. And in the kinetic energy formula, 1/2 the mass times velocity squared. So velocity is where all your energy comes from, not necessarily your mass. So despite the fact that this piece of aluminum is a fraction of the mass of the lead bullet, it can impart way more energy.
I thought you were using volume for V or whatever.
Well, no, I just used volume as a reference point to say that if so that you could compare a 50 caliber bullet and a piece of aluminum of the same size.
Yeah.
That way, I wasn't just making up, a piece of aluminum that was like this big. I'm pretty sure a piece of aluminum that big hitting a spacecraft, done. Done. Well, of course it's gonna have more kinetic energy because it's going faster.
You should do the calculation.
I did.
No. How small would something need to be to have the same kinetic energy as a bullet?
We'd have to
how small
trial and error.
Yeah. That would be an interesting calculation.
Well, we could probably solve it.
Actually. Well, yeah. Once you find the energy, divide out by the square root of the mass, the velocity or whatever. So multiply by 2, and now you have equal to mass, and now you have the mass of some object that would have the same kinetic energy as the bullet.
Yeah. So if we take
at this higher velocity,
so if we take the velocity,
so it'd be a much lower mass.
So if we take the velocity of orbital debris and the energy that
bullet has
of the bullet, right? Of the bullet, not the orbital debris, not the original, but of the bullet,
and find out how small of a mass you would need to have that kinetic energy.
We could probably find my paper. I don't know. Might be on one of those thumb drives. It might also not be. I don't know. It might also be on my old computer. Hard to say. Anyways, the timer did go off. I don't know what the hell this episode was, but it was something. Anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New videos every Friday, noon Central Time, and good night.